Hi friends, welcome to another episode of Stitchflix where we slow down and stitch something beautiful together. Today we're going to be learning the lemon peel stitch, which I love the stitch for its name as well as how the finished product looks. The stitch is great for blankets and it has a nice textured look. So the supplies you're going to need to make this swatch is some weight 4 acrylic yarn. I have this purple color. I don't know where it's from or the shade. I don't have a label. I have a 5.5mm hook, scissors, a yarn needle, and a stitch marker. So let's get started. So to begin the lemon peel stitch, you will chain an even number of chains, and what you want to do is start with a slip knot. Take your yarn, make a little loop like this, and then fold that loop down on that strand of yarn, pull it through, and that's your little slip knot. You're going to put your hook in there and then just pull to tighten to your hook. So we're going to chain an even number. We're going to chain 20 for this. So you're going to yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3, yarn over, pull through, that's 4, yarn over, pull through, that's 5, yarn over, pull through, that's 6, yarn over, pull through, that's 7. So keep chaining until you get to 20. So I have made 20 chains, and I do this in every video because I treat it like we're all beginners here. So if this is your first time chaining, you can see, let's zoom in a little more, how when you're looking down at your chain, you can see these little V shapes. Each V is 1 chain. So if you lose track of counting and you don't want to start over, you can always count the V's. The loop on your hook never counts. So let's count mine as the example. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So once you've got your 20 chains, you're going to chain 1 more. And that extra chain is going to be our turning chain. So now we're going to get started. We're going to be using only single crochets and double crochets for this. And you just repeat the same row over and over again. So loop on the hook does not count. This is the first chain. This is the second chain. You're going to go into that second chain. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both. And that's your first single crochet. So after you single crochet, you're going to double crochet in the following stitch. So you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, pull through the last 2. So we've got 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet, and we're just going to alternate doing those all the way down our chain. So now we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So next is a single crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to complete that all the way down our chain. So keep going. You're going to do a double crochet next, single crochet, a double crochet, single crochet. When you get to the end, your last stitch should be a double crochet, and I am going to meet you there. Okay, so I am at the end of my chain. I have 1 stitch left, and I am going to make a double crochet. So I yarn over, insert my hook, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's the end of our first row. So once you've done that, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work. So to turn your work, you just flip it. You can already kind of see that texture popping through. So for the second row, your double crochet you just made, you're going to go in there, pull up a loop, pull through both loops. So you're single crocheting into that double crochet. Now we're at a single crochet, so we are going to double crochet into it. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to single crochet. Insert our hook, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through. Now a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So what you're doing essentially is every double crochet from the previous row, you'll be crocheting a single crochet. For every single crochet for the previous row, you'll be making a double crochet. So let's keep going. Now we're going to single crochet. So insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So keep going for the rest of the row, and I will meet you at the end. So I just made my last single crochet, and I've got 1 chain, or I have 1 stitch left, so I'm going to double crochet into that. You always start with a single crochet, and you always end with a double crochet. So after your last double crochet, you're going to chain 1, turn your work. This is what it will be looking like. If yours is curving like mine, that just means your base chain is a little tight. So to fix that issue, you would go up a hook size or half a hook size. So I'm using a 5.5. To chain, I should have used a 6mm, and then once I started the pattern, gone down to the 5.5. So if you're having that issue, it's okay, and it's a simple way to solve it. So we're on row 3, and we're just going to repeat what we've been doing. We're going to start with a single crochet, and then a double crochet after, single crochet, and then a double crochet, single crochet, and a double crochet, a single crochet, and then a double crochet. So keep going for row 3, and then I'll meet you back at the end when we're ready to do our last stitch. Right, so once again, I just made my last single crochet of the row. I've got 1 stitch left and I'm going to double crochet into it. Oops. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And then I know I said you would need a stitch marker and I have not used that, so I apologize, but the stitch marker comes in handy for when you make your last stitch of the row. I'm sorry, for when you make your first stitch of the row. Just in case it's hard to see afterwards, it can be, but so if you're losing a stitch, it could be you're missing the last stitch of your row. I hope that made sense. So like I said, mine is curving, so now I'm going to snip this and I am going to make a chain with a larger hook to show you the difference that it does make. All right, so I've got a 6mm hook now, and I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to chain 20 plus 1, so 21. So that's 21 chains. And now I'm going to go in the second chain from my hook and make my single crochet. Going to double crochet into the next chain. And when I made that first little swatch, you could see after row 1 already that it was curving. And that's okay, it happens. Like I said, you just need to go up a hook size for your chain. Oh, look at me, I'm not even following my own advice. I started crocheting with it. So back to my 5.5. And second chain from hook, single crochet, then a double crochet. But like I was saying, that's a very easy fix. It happens a lot, especially when you're a beginner. I normally do crochet my chains somewhat tight, so if you don't have another hook size, you can always just try to chain a little bit looser. So you would just, so say I'm chaining, making my chains, I would just yarn over, pull through, but then just pull up a little bit to make it a little bit looser. You don't want it too loose, but that's another way to do it if you don't have another hook to use. So I'm going to continue this just to show you that it should not be curving after using 2 different hook sizes the way I did. Okay, so I just finished that first row, and as you can see, well, I need to add a second one to make that a little better, but as you can see, it is a lot straighter now compared to the curve. Like you can, it's like curving like a rainbow. But so I'm going to go on to my second row, and then we should be able to really tell that it worked. Okay, so that's row 2, and now you can, oops, now you can see we have a straight little swatch. So I'm going to show you what to do with your stitch marker since I did not do that to begin with. So I'm starting a new row. I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And then I'm going to grab my stitch marker and place it right into the top of that single crochet. So go under both of those bars. And now that stitch is locked. We know where it's at. I'm going to continue down my row alternating my single crochets and my double crochets. I've made quite a few blankets using this stitch, and I just love the textured look of it. It's such an easy stitch. It uses just basic crochet stitches, your single crochet, your double crochet, and I just sometimes can't get enough of it. I love using it. So whenever I think about making a blanket, this is one of the first stitches that comes to mind. But yeah. All right, so that's 3 rows. So you see like the little texture it's got there. So I'm going to go back down, row 4. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, just flip it on over, and you can see even more texture when you flip it over. And insert, pull up loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So let me know what you think of this stitch as you're working it. Let me know if you're just making the swatch. Are you going to plan a bigger project with it? Like I said, my stitch marker is in the first stitch from the previous row. So this is how you would know you're at your last stitch, because I know sometimes it's easy to lose a stitch at the end or at the beginning. So just take that out and then double crochet into it. Chain 1, turn your work. So this is how we're looking. I'm going to finish completing my rows until I have a decent sized swatch. And I want you to do the same. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Let me know if I went too fast. I do want to make this series specifically for beginners. So I'm trying really hard to be mindful of my speed and what I am saying. So let me know how I'm doing. I would love the feedback. And I hope that I'll see you in the next episode of Stitchflix. See you later, guys. Bye.